Hello, this is John Paval with Access Arts Live. Welcome to our weekend update, when I tell you about all the great live streams of performances which we found for you for this weekend. And we've got some great ones. We have piano recitals, we have 2 operas, and we have symphonic music. And already today, if you were following the notices we gave you earlier in the week, you could have tuned into the New Zealand Symphony Orchestra, which was doing a program called La Mer, and in which Dima Slobodenjuk, the Finnish composer, was conducting with Augustin Hadelich, the great violinist, playing Tchaikovsky's violin concerto. And that's the one that goes da 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 dum, la da 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 dum, ba da dee da da dum, la da da dee, etc., etc. Anyway. Or you would have tuned in at 5 o'clock just an hour ago, 5 o'clock European time, to hear the Chopin Institute's free of charge live stream of Szymon Nehring's piano recital. Szymon Nehring being the only Pole ever to win the Rubinstein International Piano Competition in Tel Aviv. And he played a couple of Beethoven sonatas, some Chopin, and some Liszt. Now we move on to the rest of the weekend, which just gets better and better. The Berlin Philharmonic is back, starting its new season, and they're live streaming for you at 7 o'clock European time, about an hour from now. Their music director, Kirill Petrenko, conducting Bruckner's 5th Symphony. That's at 7 o'clock European time, 1 o'clock on the East Coast, and 10 o'clock in the morning on the West Coast. They're broadcasting it on their own digital concert hall. It will cost you about 18 euros. You have to buy at least a 1-month subscription. Of course, if you do that, though, they will have a couple other live streams during the month. So it's not 18 euros for one concert. It's for several concerts during the month of August, September. Or you can buy a 1-year subscription that they're pushing somewhat aggressively. And we at Access Arts Live, what we favor are free of charge live streams and building enough of a global audience so that you don't have to charge them anything. But anyway, that's water under the bridge, or not yet under the bridge. It's only a couple of weeks until Anton Bruckner's birthday on September 4th. Many people rank Bruckner right up there with Brahms as the 2 great composers, German composers of the late 19th century, although Bruckner, technically speaking, was Austrian. And Brahms was the musical conservative, and on the other side were the progressive musical people. This is not politics, it's music. And they were led by Wagner. And Bruckner worshipped Wagner. When Wagner passed away, Bruckner called him the most blessed, the most beloved, the immortal master. So look, if you love German things, Berlin Philharmonic, Petrenko, Anton Bruckner, doesn't get much more German than that. So tune in if you like it. Okay, but if you don't like that, wait an hour, because at 8 o'clock, Stage Plus is live streaming another opera from the Salzburg Opera Festival, which everybody knows is like the best. This is Mirga Gražinytė-Tyla conducting the opera The Idiot by Mieczysław Weinberg. Now, with the Vienna Philharmonic and the Vienna State Opera Choir singing along. The Idiot is in Russian. It was completed in 1985. Now, Weinberg himself was born in Poland, in Warsaw, in a theatrical family, but also Jewish. So in 1939, he's 20 years old, and the Nazis move in, and so he headed off to Moscow to go into exile. And there he met Shostakovich and became his protege. Now, you probably don't know that Weinberg wrote 22 symphonies, including his massive 21st symphony called Kaddish, which I'm sure is very Jewish, in 1991. He also wrote 7 operas, 17 string quartets, a violin concerto, and additional chamber music stuff. So he's someone to discover. This concert is at... I already gave you the times. If you bought that Stage Plus July-August subscription for €1, you get it as for, like 1/10 of €1. If not, it'll cost you €9.90 or $11 US. Now, who is Weinberg? I already told you that he was this Jewish, this Polish Jewish composer, but then he became a Soviet composer. When Shostakovich was denounced by Stalin, well, then he got denounced by Stalin. A couple years later, 1952, he got arrested, not for ideology, but because he was Jewish, and then they let him go. Anyway, this conductor, Mirga Gražinytė-Tyla, is the one you want to hear conducting him because she's his biggest fan. Back at the beginning of June, Stage Plus live streamed her conducting Weinberg's opera The Passenger at Teatro Real in Madrid. And we told you about that if you were paying attention. And Gražinytė-Tyla was one of these great Gustavo Dudamel fellows at the LA Philharmonic. They bring in really good people. And they liked her so much they hired her as an assistant conductor for 2 seasons. And then later on as an associate conductor, but then she went on to become the musical director of the Birmingham Symphony Orchestra, following in the footsteps of people like Simon Rattle. So this is not one to pass up if you love opera. This is a great opportunity for you. But if you don't want to shell out for that, then just wait until 8:30. The Chopin Institute is doing another of its numerous live streams that it's doing during this end of the summer, beginning of the fall festival that they're running. This is Eric Liu, the pianist, and the KBS, Korean Broadcast System, Symphony Orchestra. It's free on YouTube, and it's at 8:30 European time, 2:30 in the afternoon on the East Coast, 11:30 in the morning on the West Coast. Eric Liu, the Chopin Institute was very excited that at the last minute they're getting to live stream this one because he's a great favorite of the Chopin people. He's doing a lot of recording with them of different Chopin pieces. He was the winner of the Chopin International Competition, which is so very tough, so very hard to win, in 2015 when he was only 17 years old. And he's played with everybody now. And among the conductors, they list him as often collaborating with our 2 I've already mentioned today, Mirga Gražinytė-Tyla and Vasily Petrenko. But he's also a great favorite of Ryan Bancroft, who was with the LA Phil, but who is now with the Royal Philharmonic in Stockholm, which is where I am live streaming from now. So we should be seeing him around in town here too. Anyway, the conductor on this occasion is Pietari Inkinen, a Finnish conductor who has worked as a conductor in New Zealand, in Japan, and in Prague, and now with KBS. They'll be doing Eric Liu playing Chopin's Piano Concerto in F minor, Opus 21, for those who count the opus numbers, and then perfect for Inkinen, the Finn, Sibelius's Symphony No. 2 in D major, Opus 43. So that's what we have, like 3 great choices for you tonight, in descending order of cost, and then we move ahead until what's going on Sunday. We don't have anything for you on Saturday, but on Sunday we have 2 more live streams coming to you from the Chopin Institute. The first is their weekly piano recital, which is done at the birthplace of Chopin himself. It's an open-air concert. The pianist this Sunday is Ludmil Angelos, who is more or less Mr. Chopin for the last 40 years, Bulgarian-born, but moved to Toledo, Spain, where he's been running a music festival for a number of years. And what he's going to be doing is showing you all the different kinds of ways that Chopin could compose. So he'll be doing a couple of polonaises, he'll be doing a nocturne, a waltz, a ballad, some mazurkas, a scherzo, the scherzo in B flat minor. I mean, if it was a different kind, he's going to play it for you. So that's at noon European time, which, bad times for the East and West Coast, 6 in the morning and 3 in the morning, but a perfect time for those of you who may be following us from Australia, 8 o'clock in the evening, your time, Sunday evening. So check it out. It's free of charge. And then finally, to wind up the weekend, another opera. This is the Chopin Institute live streaming the Polish National Opera, doing a concert version of Stanislaw Moniuszko's The Haunted Manor. This is at 7 o'clock European time, 1 o'clock in the afternoon on the East Coast, 10 in the morning on the West Coast. A great way to spend your Sunday morning or early afternoon if you're in the U.S. and to discover an opera you probably don't know about, because almost nobody knows about the Haunted Manor except everybody in Poland. It's considered Moniuszko's best opera. It's considered the greatest 19th century Polish opera score, and yet nobody knows about it outside of Poland. Polish name of it is Straszny Dwór, The Haunted Manor. Now, they only did 3 performances of it at the time when it was composed in the early 1860s, and they did it in 1865, and then the Russians shut it down because it has a lot of patriotic overtones to it, and this was only a couple of years after the very bloody uprising against the Russians and other oppressors. This was a time when the Russians and the Prussians and the Austrians had decided, well, we won't have any Poland. There won't be any Poland anymore except the Poland we control. So they shut it down. So it's filled with mazurkas and polkas and waltzes and dumkas and krakowiaks. So if you love Polish music, you're going to hear some. Now, what's it about? Okay, it's a romantic comedy, so it's not political at all, although it's patriotic. It's about 2 Polish military officers who swear an oath of celibacy to each other. They swear they're not going to get involved with any women so that they won't be distracted, and they'll be ready at any time to take up arms to defend their country. And then they move to this town, and both of them fall in love with the 2 daughters of this distinguished old Polish officer. So this is a little bit of a problem, but the humor doesn't stop there because they have an aunt. Like, well, who doesn't if you're Polish? And the aunt has already arranged brides for them, marriages with other girls, not these 2 that they've fallen in love with. So to try to scare them away from the officer's daughters, she tells them that the old guy's house is haunted. And then she pretends to be ghosts and stuff like that to try to scare them away. Okay, so that's what we have for you in terms of full-scale classical music this weekend. I encourage you, if you log on to any of these Chopin Institute live streams, they're on YouTube. We're giving you the links for all of that. So look for us in the comment section. If the comment section is open, you're very likely to find Access Arts Live making a comment just to let people know we're there. And we love to hear from people when they say, thank you, Access Arts Live, for helping us to discover this Polish opera or this composer or this, any of the things. Speaking of which, there are 2 more things I wanted to mention to you about just very quickly. The St. Eustache Church has its weekly Sunday organ recital at 5 o'clock in the evening, European time. We'll tell you more about that. Probably send something out on Sunday. And it's Francois Olivier, who's the organist for the choir there for the last 20 years. And that recital is highly recommended by the International Online Organ Festival. So he'll be playing some Bach Prelude and Fugue. He'll be playing Louis Viern's Berceuse, Lullaby. And he'll be playing the Suite Gothique, the Gothic Suite by Léon Boelman. So that should be something. And then that's it. That's 5 European time, 11 on the East Coast in the morning, 8 o'clock in the morning on the West Coast. And if you want to stay up late, it's at 1 in the morning in Australia, Sunday night. And then after that, just at 6:15, the Ely Cathedral is doing a recital in which the cathedral organist will play whatever you request. And that's at 6:15 European time, 12:15 on the East Coast, and 9:15 on the West Coast. We will give you the link and also the email address to write to if you want to request something. But I strongly encourage you to tune in instead to these terrific, Polish opera, the Haunted Manor. We will absolutely be tuning in to check it out. As always, we ask you to, if you get a chance, follow us on our different pages, whichever one where you might be viewing this, on Facebook, on Instagram, on LinkedIn, on TikTok, wherever you may find us, or on X. And if you like the things we're posting, please repost them to other people. We're trying to gather together online the enormous global audience for the performing arts. We know you're out there. We know you love this stuff because tens of millions of people view these viral videos of people singing opera or doing ballet on TikTok or on YouTube. So ciao for now. Have a great weekend. And I hope to see some of you in the comments section for these great Chopin Institute live streams free of charge on YouTube this weekend.